Once upon a time, in a wide green forest, deep in its heart, lived a rabbit named Cockor. Cockor was the fastest animal in the forest. He could run faster than the wind and jump higher than the trees. But Cockor wasn't just fast, he was also the most arrogant animal in the forest. He loved to brag about his speed and laugh at others who were slower than him. Every time he ran past a squirrel or a bird, he would burst into laughter and shout, "No one can ever beat me. Only I am fast in this whole wide world," and his laughter would echo through the trees, making everyone feel small and worthless. Meanwhile, in a cozy little burrow under an oak tree lived a wise old tortoise named Hakima. Hakima was one of the slowest animals in the forest. She moved at her own pace and never rushed. She didn't care about being the fastest or the strongest, because she knew that true strength came from within. Hakim was kind and helpful to everyone she met. She always took the time to listen to others and offer them support and advice. One day, while Hakim was taking a leisurely stroll through the forest, she heard a loud commotion coming from the other side of the trees. Curious, she slowly made her way to the sound and soon discovered what was going on. All the animals in the forest had gathered together and were listening intently to the king of the forest, a majestic old lion. The king had an important announcement to make. "A magical treasure has been hidden at the top of the highest mountain in our forest," he began, his voice booming through the trees. "Whoever finds this treasure first will be crowned the guardian of the forest, a position of great honor and responsibility." As soon as the king finished his announcement, a loud commotion erupted among the animals. They all wanted to be the guardian of the forest and win the magical treasure. But none of them knew how to get to the top of the mountain. It was so high that even the birds couldn't reach it. Then, as if he hadn't been there all along, Cockor hopped into the clearing. "What's all this noise about?" he asked, his voice dripping with arrogance. When the animals told him about the treasure, his eyes gleamed with greed. "Being the fastest animal in the forest, it's obvious that I should be the guardian of the forest," he declared confidently. "I'll go find the treasure and be back before any one of you can even take a single step towards the mountain." With that, Cockor dashed off, jumping and skipping all the way to the mountain. He didn't even bother to look back at the other animals, knowing that they stood no chance of catching up with him. The other animals watched him go, shaking their heads in disappointment. "Speed isn't everything," Hakim said softly, but her words were lost in the wind as Corker's laughter echoed through the trees. "Only I am fast in this whole wide world," he shouted, reveling in his own greatness. But Karma was waiting for him. Deep inside the forest, hidden among the tall trees and thick bushes, lay a secret path leading to the mountain. However, this path was no easy feat for a boastful and arrogant rabbit like Cockor. To get through the forest and reach the mountain, he needed to pass through a dense thicket, a dark cave, a shallow stream, and finally cross a wide, muddy field. But Cockor wasn't prepared for any of this. He kept bragging about his speed, thinking he would easily win the race and become the guardian of the forest. First, he came across the dense thicket. Thorny bushes and vines blocked his way, making it hard for him to move forward. Karkor tried to hop over them, but the branches caught his paws and made him fall. "Oh, come on!" he cried out, his voice filled with frustration. "These stupid bushes can't stop me. I am the fastest rabbit in the forest." He struggled to free himself, but the more he struggled, the deeper he got stuck. At this rate, Karkor realized that he would never be able to reach the treasure before anyone else, so with a heavy heart he turned back and went back to the clearing, hoping to join the other animals. But when he got there, he saw that Hakim and the other animals had already disappeared. He was too late. Hakim had taken a different approach. Instead of rushing ahead, she had spent time talking to the squirrels and birds, asking for their help in finding the treasure. The squirrels showed her a secret path through the forest that would lead her directly to the mountain. And the birds promised to guide her from above, watching out for any danger. So, with a newfound sense of determination, Hakim set off on her journey. She thanked the animals for their help and promised to pay them back someday. Then she started her slow but steady climb up the mountain. On the way, she came across a babbling brook and a fallen log blocking her path. But instead of trying to go over or under the obstacles, she took the time to think about how to solve the problem. Hakim knew that she couldn't lift the log by herself, so she sat down and waited for some friendly beavers to pass by. The beavers were known for their hard work and teamwork, and Hakim was hoping they could help her move the log. When they arrived, she explained her situation to them and they agreed to help her move the log. Together they pushed and pulled until the log was finally moved and Hakim could continue her journey. As Hakim climbed higher and higher, the air grew thinner and the path became steeper, but she didn't give up. She took deep breaths and kept moving forward, her eyes fixed on the prize. Meanwhile, Karkor, feeling defeated and ashamed, decided to return home. As he hopped through the forest, he saw the other animals returning from the mountain, each carrying a piece of the magical treasure. They had worked together to bring it down from the mountain, and now they were sharing it among themselves. When they saw Karkor, they were surprised. "Why didn't you come with us?" Hakim asked gently. Karkor hung his head in shame. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I was too arrogant and boastful, and I underestimated all of you. I've learned my lesson now." The animals looked at him for a moment, then smiled. "We know you didn't mean it," Hakim said. "We all get carried away sometimes. The important thing is that you're here now and we can celebrate together." And so the animals all gathered together and celebrated their victory. They feasted on delicious food, sang joyful songs, and danced under the stars. Karkor, Hakim, the beavers, the squirrels, and all the other animals. They all became friends and learned an important lesson that day. True strength doesn't come from being the fastest or the strongest, but from working together and helping others. And as for the magical treasure, it remained in the forest, reminding all the animals of their unity and friendship. From that day on, the forest remembered, true strength is not in running fast, but in moving forward together.